big riffs and drums and like heavy metal and stuff, and then from there it was kind of pretty addictive, I think.
Would you say that or agree that 90s grunge was like the last like big movement in rock? Like, because if you go like through the timeline of like rock bands and stuff, I feel like, at least from my perspective as a fan, you know, that was the last big time where, you know, they were doing something completely different. You know,
yeah. I guess. I mean,
there's not really been since like a era of rock that you can define by a name.
Yeah,
like rock in the UK seems to be kind of like indie, psychedelic influenced kind of just pop, I guess.
Yeah,
it's not like a rock movement at all, and that kind of poked up for maybe like a year.
Yeah,
and now it's just been pushed back down again.
I do kind of feel like that was a massive, really, really important movement, because it's funny because like talking about Limp Bizkit and stuff, even that was hugely new metal,
yeah.
But even that was influenced massively by, you know,
by Rage,
the 90s grunge thing, and Rage and Deftones and all of that. Like, you know, I mean, sometimes people even say that Deftones were new metal, which really pisses me off because they weren't at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're in that fine line between rock, metal, new metal. Only because I would put them in that category, which I don't want to, because Casino rapped. That was the only reason why people threw him in with the new metal. But they're really not new metal.
Same.
No, it's not the same.
I think a lot of people maybe like looked at the way they dressed and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the big shorts and the high socks. They're like, okay, that's like Limp Bizkit, so that's new metal. It's like it's not. But anyway, because I'm a fan of it all, it was interesting to see that. But like, I think the 90s thing probably was one of the most, you know, probably one of the most major things.
Yeah.
Like to date. It's funny because the popularity now of like what is popular and stuff, like the new pop music now, it is kind of hip hop, which is rad. Like that's made its kind of mainstream pop entrance now, which is killer. It's just funny how it kind of all like comes through or whatever.
I always say that hip hop was made from rock, and now rock again is made by hip hop. It's like a big circle.
Totally.
How it keeps going around and around and around. Like, we need each other to make each other work.
Totally.
You need it.
Yeah. Hip hop artists are now the new rock stars, aren't they? So.
Absolutely,
they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally, and it's cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
Like, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about your latest album, 1111. Kind of talk about how you guys came up with the name, because I think the backstory to that's pretty cool.
For the record?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were... So after the second record, Nature Nurture, we were touring really heavily through Latin America, and we did Japan and India, and we kind of did these back-to-back tours for... We were out kind of for like a year and a half solid, you know, with little breaks in between, but like a whole lot of touring. And throughout that time, I was writing the ideas for the record, and then we'd be messing with those ideas, like in sound checks and stuff like that. So during that whole period of time when the record was, you know, essentially being written, all of us would just see 1111 like in every form you could possibly imagine, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Every country, everywhere we went, every day there would be some sort of 1111 thing. And that still happens all the time. But I think it just when that record kind of was finished as a body of work, throughout that whole period of time, that was coined by 1111 everywhere to all of us, and all of us in the band and all our crew and stuff, it just kind of seemed fitting to me that, you know, the record would be called 1111 because all the songs were written in that period of time. Even the song itself, 1111, was written because of that. Like, when I record songs, I wrote that. We messed with that song, and we were like, oh, I don't know if we'll keep this, like, whatever. And then when I ended up doing the demo, how I record at home and stuff, I just make crappy little demos, but I do it all the time, and then show it to the boys, and then we decide if we like it or whatever. When I started that demo, where my like rig was set up, the bar counter, this is all technical music. Crap, the bar counter was set on 1111, and I was like, oh, cool, that kind of just fit the rhythm of the song. It was like, sweet. You know, it's weird.
That is very weird.
Yeah.
And you guys had no idea that here 1111 means like you make a wish on 1111.
We've done that a lot.
So a lot of people come up to us and they're like, oh, you know, what, you get the wish thing? We're like, no, really. It's actually completely different for us. But, yeah.
In terms of looking, you know, the writing process, are you always, you know, keeping your mind open for, you know, some sort of inspiration?
Yeah, totally. I write all the time, and it's cool because I think the dynamic of how the band works in terms of writing is really great because it's sort of freeing for me because I can just mess around doing whatever I want and then I'll put that down and show it to the boys and then it's like, okay, well we like this or that could be different or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think like when you're writing, you should be always open to like any weird little thought or inspiration all the time. I think that's something that I've sort of grown to learn. Like the older I get, like you could write your best song in like 5 seconds whilst you're in the shower. Or whatever. It's just like a melody and an idea or whatever. So
that's why I always showers with a pen.
Always.
You never know when you can get some inspiration.
I have to buy a lot of
That's awesome.
I have to buy a lot of notepads.
Or you're on the toilet. You're like, wait a minute. Hey.
It's like Prince had a guitar in every room, literally every room, with a jack that he jacked into the wall. Katie Harkin, our mate Katie, who plays in loads and loads of bands, she recorded a record with a producer who worked with Prince once, and he told her that story that Prince has had guitars with jacks into the wall like everywhere.
Wow.
At any moment he'd be like, oh shit, and it was all recorded into like a database.
That's
or whatever.
genius.
Yeah, awesome.
Because the man was genius. Why am I saying? It was genius.
We've got a similar
you should
thing.
say that's Prince.
Well, true.
Prince.
We've got a similar thing going on in the RV. Actually, there's a mobile studio set up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
genuinely,
you guys laid out some tracks from time to time in the RV.
Yeah.
I was all night last night. We did a long drive after pre-show and then post-show yesterday, so I did a lot of writing. But it's not like a Prince rig. It's a pretty.
It's like a Prince rig. It is.
I would like it. It's a Prince's rig.
Now, since you guys, all three of you, did this album together, is it pressure off of you since you did the first two by yourself? Like, wow, I can actually have some fun now and have other people to like bounce ideas off. So, oh my god, what am I going to do?
Yeah, totally. It's a lot less lonely too, which is cool. Yeah, totally. It was awesome. Like, obviously, making those two records on my own to begin with was awesome and a personal sort of achievement, I guess, that I'll always be super proud of. But it was way cooler and funner and, you know, easier and, like you said, way less pressure to have the boys doing it with me. And obviously, you know, that's the way the band naturally progressed. And I guess from the very beginning of the band, I was always kind of searching for the right lineup. Who's in your band is, you know, if not the most important thing about a band. So, you know, waiting for Mikey to come along and Jim to come along was I guess, an important part of the band sort of, you know, becoming what it is. And then, therefore, you know, getting to a point where we had the opportunity to make the record as a three was awesome because it means I could, like, sit back and know Mike would nail the drums and you know, Jim would nail the bass and stuff.
It meant for us as well that instead of having to deconstruct the songs afterwards and be like, why have you done this?
Which is
you can't play this live.
Yeah, totally.
Because you kind of did it Dave Grohl style, where he did the first one all by himself and then got people to play it. I would think you're going like, I know, I didn't play it like that. You have to play it like. Totally. You just have so much control over it. It's hard to let other people take it and do what
that's kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
And, like, definitely when Mikey joined the band, because obviously, like, I'm a total drum head, when Mikey joined the band, he definitely got the grilling for, you know, ages, like, getting the drums down and stuff, because obviously how the drums are played is the backbone of the song, particularly in Dinosaur, because it's, like, hard punk rock, like, heavy drums and stuff, so... That was definitely probably exhausting for both Mike and me, which is nice now because I guess we've been playing together for like 7 years or something. Yeah. Something like that. You know, now we're just like totally in the pocket and can sort of think what each other is thinking, you know, pretty much all the time, which is nice, but it definitely took a lot of work to get to that point, you know. But I think it means that our band's just way better.
It sounds like yeah, it does.
Well, you guys are in town at the Brady Theater tonight with Chevelle. How's it been touring with those guys?
Awesome. Those great guys.
Yeah, they are. And the shows have been killer. Like, their fans have been really receptive to us. So sometimes you can play with bands and their fans turn up maybe just before they go on, or they only have ears for, like, what they're playing. Yeah. But we've met so many people at the merch stands afterwards who've said really good things.
Totally.
So it's been going well.
And that's our third tour with them, which is very... generous and gracious of those guys to give us that opportunity. Yeah, you know, because they could take any band out, and they've taken us 3 times, which is
pretty cool.
Yeah, 3 times in a year as well.
Yeah,
first was in January, and then
it's really nice of them. Yeah, you know, we appreciate that exposure and opportunity, which is purely because they were like, oh yeah, let's just take Dinosaur out again. You know, so,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
We have a theory that bands that have 3 people in them are better than bands that have 2 or 5.
Cool. Yeah.
Because you guys have to be so tight and so on. Like you guys,
they always bring more energy.
Because you all depend on each other. If one slip up, it throws the whole thing out of whack.
Yeah.
Totally.
If you have like a band that has 5 people, you won't even know it.
It's a third guitar player missing.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, totally. That is true.
I think 2's quite revealing as well, though.
I think
2?
2 is
I guess
You got White
Royal
Stripes.
Blood.
Yeah,
White
Royal Blood.
Stripes.
Yeah.
That's true too.
There's some examples of that.
Messed up, you'd hear it.
Right.
I do think that's true. Same with 3, but 4 or 5, you get to you got a bit of safety there.
Yeah.
Particularly as a guitarist, because you're obviously doubled up as a guitarist.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Now, what the hell was George Harrison even doing?
Just along for the ride. Yeah.
Ride his coattails as long as I can.
We'll go see Dinosaur Pile Up tonight at the Brady Theater. You can get the ticket info, KMOD.com. Before we let you guys go, you want to play a song?
Nah.
No? Well, I figured I'd ask.
We will play a song. We'll probably play 11-11, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I've been busy counting every drop of rain, but I ain't scared of dying, 'cause I told you once, I told you twice, I swear I must have said 1,000 times, if I am the water, then I am the rain, if I am the fire, and I am the flame. 11-11, 11-11. I've been busy burning matches with the flame. I ain't scared of dying, I told you once, I told you twice, I swear I must have said 1,000 times, if I am the water, and I am the rain, if I am the fire, and I am the flame. 11-11. 11-11, 11-11, 11-11. Yeah, trying and get out. Eleven, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11.
Tulsa's Rock Station 97.5 KMOD.